What are you doing? Stop it.
That wasn't scary?
That was not even remotely scary.
I told you that. Imagine waking up to that. That would be terrifying.
You just murdered this podcast before it could even start.
No, not at all. They like that. It's
no,
theatricals.
nobody liked that.
Oh,
Listen,
come on. I'm sure they
disturbed,
liked it.
A little freaked out, but not
Who
scared.
invited you here?
I believe you did.
Okay, you're right.
Me.
Okay, guys, hey, we're here.
Yeah.
It's our podcast, Cody.
It is.
What's your name? What's your name?
I'm Cody, also known as Upham. You guys know me from the Schmoes, no?
What's up, guys? I'm Christian, and most of you guys know me as Cobbster.
Yeah.
Shoulders, whatever you guys want to call it. I hate that nickname, by the way. But, yes, we're here. We're talking about horror films. Welcome to the HorrorFlix podcast. I'm super excited because we get to talk about horror films. Mm-hmm. This is my jam, as Alicia Malone would say. And look, before we kind of get things going, I just wanted a disclaimer: we're not professionals.
No, we're not.
We're just a couple.
We're just
of goofs.
fans.
We love horror films, and if you're listening to this, I hope you are. And even if you're not a fan of horror films, that's okay because the idea of the show is to appreciate horror films.
Exactly.
And maybe if you dislike them for the way they are, because yes, horror films aren't what they used to be. Maybe we can, get some insight and recognition to some horror films that deserve it, and we can just talk about the good things about horror films. This is a celebration, man.
It is good to talk about the good things because a lot of time this genre kind of gets made fun of. It's kind of campy. It's easy to make sometimes. A lot of times it turns out to be crap.
Yes.
But when there is a good horror movie, it's freaking good.
It's like sex at its peak.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a rated R podcast, so fuck it.
Fuck it.
We're gonna say what we want.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be throwing F-bombs left and right, but I'm just saying.
Your mom hates this podcast. I'm
yes,
letting you know.
But if your mom likes it, then have her watch it or
have her
listen
give
to it.
5-star review. But
exactly.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
So we're kind of new to this, but if you guys are listening to on iTunes real quick, just be sure to download this podcast, rate it, subscribe to it, and follow us on Twitter. I'm at Cobbster15.
I'm at The Real Cody Hall.
Just get those out of the way. And if you're not on iTunes, you're listening on the SK Podcast channel, subscribe to that, give it a like, throw up a comment, and as we're talking about these things, whether you're listening to this the day it came out or a year from now, tweet at us and make sure to hashtag it HorrorFlix and just have a conversation with us because that's what this is all about.
We like talking to people.
I like talking.
Speaking of talking, let's get into what is this show going to be about, Cobbster? What are we doing today?
So basically, the idea is just to celebrate horror films in general because I love horror films. I go to sleep easy when I watch a scary movie, not being able to sleep easy, if that makes any sense. Because I like being scared. Okay. And even, not a lot of the horror films have to be necessarily scary. They can just be good. As long as it gets me a little freaked out, kind of like I got to check my closet. And I check my closet a lot because I got some scary shit in there. Okay?
I've seen your Nerf gun collection. It's scary in there.
Dude.
It's terrifying.
Talk about a horror film.
Yeah,
we'll get into that later.
Anyway.
Today, I figured we just get it started off. We kind of get to know each other. Because I know you, but I haven't even known you for like a whole year.
It hasn't been a year.
I found you in Corona.
Yeah.
You were wearing a Batman shirt.
I was.
And I was like, what is this guy? What is the Michael C. Hall
We met at a
guy?
Starbucks, I was drinking a latte. You were not. It's
I was like,
to the
latte?
story.
What is this
but
guy
look at
doing?
this idiot. What's
this guy's
he doing?
probably a
He's
serial
drinking
killer.
an iced latte. This is freaking weirdo over here.
Chai tea latte.
It's like summer. Anyway.
Oh my god.
Should we talk about, what do you think, our favorites of all time?
Yeah. So basically the layout of this episode is going to be, we'll talk about some of our favorite horror films of all time. And yeah, it's March, I know, but we'll still talk about some of our most anticipated of this year because there was really only one or two that came out so far and they weren't that great. So we'll get into that. So let's start off. Tell us some of your favorite horror films.
First one, we talked about the classics before with Hitchcock. I'm going to go Psycho.
Is this your favorite of all time or just one of them?
It's just one. I can't decide my favorite.
I
have like maybe four. That
it's like picking a child.
It really is, But the Psycho's one for me.
Ooh, yeah.
I was going to bring up The Good Son, but I was like... That's not for the show.
Now, is that a horror film because of the subject matter?
It's scary how bad that movie is.
Yeah,
tell you that.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway.
But
Psycho.
yeah, I mean, Psycho, that's a classic. That's the original slasher film, basically.
Pretty much,
It's the one that, it sets the mark for the other one. We wouldn't have had Scream. We wouldn't have had Nightmare on Elm Street or Halloween. So, yeah, Psycho is definitely a great one.
Love Psycho. And I saw that when I was like 8 years old and I was terrified. People
what?
say like, oh, it's only for the times. No, it still scared the crap out of me.
No, it's terrifying. When you see, I won't give it... Spoiler.
Okay, if you haven't seen Psycho by now, what is wrong with you, first of all?
But I mean, I won't say it, but the ending when you see that skeleton, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
It is very creepy to look at. And I remember when I was young, I went to Universal Studios and they had like a weird tour ride where we went around a circle, and I just remember seeing images from this. I'm like, what is this thing? And it scared the crap out of me. And then when I finally saw it, I think it was probably at a time when I was appreciating movies a lot more than when I was just young and watching them.
Yeah.
I was just blown away by it. It's incredible.
Have you ever been to Universal during the Halloween time when they do the zombie thing? You walk by the house.
Yeah.
And they like take pictures there. It's so freaking cool.
It's the best. Maybe what we'll try to do is like. Yeah, we'll try to do a live podcast at Halloween Horror Nights.
We have to do something. We'll at least do a video or something. Yeah, it'd be fun.
Dude, I have so many things planned for us in the future that I'm just hoping that we can accomplish.
I'm telling you guys, it's going to be a fun show. Even if you're not into horror movies, it's going to be fun.
It'll be fun. So
you want to go into your
I kind of do. I don't want to just talk about you.
Okay, sorry.
One that I go back to all the time that I wouldn't even consider because I do have a number one favorite horror film of all time, but I think you need to set off on the side, it doesn't count because it's pretty obvious, and that's The Exorcist.
Yeah,
that's The Exorcist. True. I mean, talk about a movie that has never really psychologically fucked me up more than any other movie out there, because I still watch it to this day. There are very few horror films that will do this, and I will generally be creeped out by it. And I'm talking about the director's cut. The director's cut is incredible because there's a lot more added to it, and obviously the original one is a lot better too. But what this movie did for horror films, it didn't just give the scares. I mean, it gave a story that you cared about the characters, and that's what I appreciate most about horror films is when they can you can relate with the characters.
That's honestly the biggest deal for me now. If you want your horror movie to be good in my eyes, you have to have good characters. That's
because a lot of the times in horror films today,
they don't.
They're just a bunch of they're kids that you don't really give a shit about.
Yeah.
And in this movie, you have a mom and a daughter, and they have a really great relationship, and they just have this fucked up demon come in there and screw up their lives.
Yeah.
And it's really sad to see. And what it also does too, it kind of dives into that mixture of is she really possessed by a demon, or is she just schizophrenic, or is she losing her mind? And that's something we didn't really see in a horror film. And I appreciate the hell of it.
We actually brought it up 3 minutes ago. Psycho inspired one of my favorite movies of all time, Scream. Now, I know that's not really...
Thank you.
Not necessarily a horror movie.
No, it's a horror film. It is a horror film.
Because people are like, oh, it's a comedy. Who cares? Okay, it's
a
fun.
horror comedy. I mean, that's the beauty about horror, is that it can be multiple genres in one. I mean, you look at Jurassic Park, that has elements of horror in it.
Yeah, it does.
It's not necessarily a horror film, but I'm just saying, it is a horror film. But definitely, it paved the way of making fun of the traditional slasher film, and it was very self-aware, and I find that to be really beautiful. I'm gonna say beautiful because I think a lot of the horror films that we're talking about, they're just beautiful.
Scream's a beautiful movie. It's very well made. I love the hell out of it. It's great. Yeah. What about you?
That's it. That's all you want to say about Scream?
Well, you know what? You took all the words. I said Scream. You're like, okay, I got this.
That's all you have to say about it?
No, I'm okay. Fine, I'll go and do
it. This is what the whole show is gonna be. Just me and him fighting at each other.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be terrifying.
We'll be fighting.
Scream is just great for so many levels to me because you said it before. It combines so many different elements. It's scary as hell. That opening scene is one of my favorite scenes of all time.
It's very much reminiscent of Psycho.
Exactly.
Killing off the main character right away.
Yeah, it's funny as hell. This is Jamie Kennedy's best movie, even though that's not saying much.
You didn't like The Son of Mask?
I did not like The Son of Mask.
That's a great
Malibu's Most Wanted, though. That's pretty guilty for me.
Malibu
Tay!
Okay. Now we're just making each other laugh and sounding stupid.
Sorry.
I love it. I love it. It's good.
Malibu Tay. That's our first episode.
No, but I mean, Jamie Kennedy was the heart and soul. He was us. It's
he's the horror fan who knows about all these.
It's the perfect character for a horror film.
If that character was still alive, he'd be doing this podcast.
Oh, man. But you know what? Of that whole series, I do love the first one the best, but that entire franchise I think is amazing. I love 2, 3, and 4.
We should devote an entire episode one day just to this.
We're gonna do franchises. We're gonna talk about franchises. Don't worry.
All right.
I got my Google Docs all
ready to go. He has at least 27 episodes planned.
Guys.
Ready to go.
I have no life. I have no life. This is all I've been wanting to do for the longest time.
You watch scary movies and then you plan them out to talk about them. It's fun.
Yeah, Netflix, all my cue. That's all it is.
Good times.
But Scream, yes, that's incredible.
Incredible.
So for me, another one of mine, I'll just go right out. This is my favorite horror film of all time, aside from The Exorcist.
Okay, obviously. I was about to say, okay.
Which is The Thing. Because
I forgot about The Thing.
How do you forget about The Thing?
I'm sorry.
Well, because my favorite subgenre of horror is sci-fi horror, because there's very few out there that I think actually really work.
Yeah.
And, John Carpenter, obviously this is a remake, but it is one of the best remakes of all time. It's the practicality of it. There is no CGI. It's just the creature designs alone are terrifying, and it's something that we really you know, you don't see often, and I love being out there. They're isolated. It's almost like a whodunit. You don't know who's really infected with this, and then you got Kurt Russell and Keith David running around just being fucking badass. And for me, it's not necessarily a very scary movie, but it's just something. It's got such a great rewatchability about it, and you know, it doesn't really, you don't really get that much invested to the characters. I mean, I like most of the characters that are in it, but you don't really feel bad. You like kind of seeing them die because there are all these really inventive and creative ways of how they all died. So, you know, The Thing, obviously, and people shit on the prequel a lot. I don't think the prequel's that bad.
The new one that came out?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll talk about that
Mary Elizabeth
in the
Winstead.
remakes and reboots episode that we'll do eventually.
This is just like a prequel episode.
This is like showing you guys what
are you
this
just
show's
giving
gonna
away,
be.
showing our
I'm
cards
sorry,
already?
I'm just saying. You can't just start going off topic onto that, okay? Anyway,
out the window.
Throw
another one.
My next favorite horror movie is you just brought up a sci-fi horror. I'll bring up one right now. Alien.
Oh, duh.
That counts,
of course,
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
It counts as
I love the hell out of this movie. It's pretty much, I almost like it better when it's just like a bunch of people trying to run from one giant thing.
Yeah.
Like that's the entire movie. There's no subplots or anything. It's just that, and it's so freaking cool. It's so scary when you see the it's so scary when you see Alien for the first time. Just its sight and its glory. It's incredible. The face hugger scene still gives me chills to this day. First time I saw it, what did you think about that movie?
Oh, come on! You know what it also did too. It kind of had that Jaws factor where you don't really see the alien for most of the film.
Yeah.
And that's what made it scary the most because you're kind of imagining what this thing looks like, and even though you do see it at the end, it's still very chilling to watch. I mean, that scene with Dallas, I think it's Dallas, the captain. Tom Sizemore.
I think so. Yeah.
Tom Sizemore. What am I? No, Tom Skerritt.
I'm just like, yeah, sure.
Tom, yeah.
Making you feel better.
Tom Skerritt?
Like, yeah, whatever.
I should be fact checking as
waiting for some interview.
Tom Skerritt. There we go.
Tom Skerritt.
Okay,
that's
what Tom Skerritt.
Tom Skerritt.
No, that scene where he's in like the compactor areas, with the flamethrower, it's just creepy every single time when you turn around and it's just. It's isolated. Just the isolation of it all.
It's another big factor for me. Like, and then when you see all the skin of like when it's like shedding and all that getting bigger, it's like, oh my god, what could this thing possibly be?
But still, I can watch that movie over and over again. It's that perfect kind of exploration film where just one single element is taken out, just a small crew. And I'll talk a lot about this too in some of the future shows where I love horror films that kind of just set a group of people in a situation and they're all being picked off one by one.
Yeah.
And, Alien is like a prime example because it's quality acting, quality writing, directing, and then you see a lot of all the other ones that are just kind of trashy, where these characters are just throwaway characters, whereas in Alien, you actually do give a shit about them all. So, yeah, I mean, that's a good one.
Okay, what's yours? Next one.
Let's go. Okay, so, a lot of the horror films these days are found footage. And
you better not.
Yes, I am going here.
You better not go to the right. Okay, go on.
Why is this going to be one?
It might be one of mine. Go on.
Well, we can share it, Cody.
Okay,
we
fine.
don't have to.
I'm sorry.
Be fighting.
Gotta think of another one now. No big deal.
Just think of another.
I gotta think of another one.
Yeah, I gotta go the Blair Witch Project.
Oh, that's not mine. Okay, cool. Sorry,
that's not yours.
Go on. Sorry, go on.
Oh,
I love Blair Witch.
Okay, I know the other one that you're
love Blair Witch. Go on.
You're supposed to imagine what the witch looks like, and it's just terrifying. Like the scene where you're hearing all the women and children screaming, and you hear the branches being broken up and stuff. It is terrifying because you can't see it. I don't want to see. I guarantee if they remade that film, that witch is all over that movie. You see
First
it in the trailer.
Frame of the movie.
It's the poster. It's just you'll see it there, and she'd be like,
Blair Nothing but jump scares. Whatever.
Nothing but that. But that's like honestly one of the most influential horror films I think ever. And when I hear people trash it, I get it. It's all perspective, but it's like you got to think about like
sucks.
Jesus, all right.
Sorry.
Everyone hate on
I'm
you
just
now.
Kidding.
I'm trying to be nice here.
I'm kidding, guys. Whatever.
No, he's not.
I'm not.
He's writing it down that he's not kidding. He's showing me a sign right now that says, "Dude, I'm not really kidding." He's shaking his hand. No, but yeah, honestly, like this one, I can rewatch it over and over. And I remember showing my brother this movie, and he was like falling asleep. I get it; it is a very slow-paced movie, but like that's just the whole concept of it.
You got to be in the mood for it.
It's very. It's a masterpiece to me. It really is. So. The Blair Witch Project, that's one for me.
Love that movie. You went to your found footage pick. I'm going to go to mine now. You ready for this?
I think I got it. Go for it.
Okay. It is As Above, So Below. No, I'm just kidding. It's Paranormal Activity. I almost scared you there, didn't I? I'm sorry. It's Paranormal Activity. This movie, look, I know it's one of the newer ones. I know people kind of give it crap because of the franchise that's been created, even though I like the franchise for the most part. Paranormal Activity, for me, it was one of the first movies I saw in high school, like one of the first horror movies I saw like with a big crowd.
Yeah.
And that movie fucked me up for at least a week.
You know what? What's really funny about that, I remember specifically, I was like, where was I going? I had like a dance or something. Yeah. It was like homecoming or prom or some bullshit like that.
Fuck that.
And I remember seeing the movie and I was like, oh, that's okay. I thought it was just fine. I go home and I take a nap and I wake up like. I don't believe in any supernatural shit, but I woke up feeling weird.
Yeah.
I felt really... the more I thought about it afterwards,
exactly.
It's like, fuck, man, I don't want to go into that hallway. I don't want to go into my room.
Just...
It's really... And it did something similar to what Blair Witch did. It's like the Blair Witch of... Even though the Blair Witch is still fairly new, it's like the Blair Witch of this kind of timing, this generation, if you will.
Yeah.
And it did the same thing. You use your imagination. You never see the demon.
You don't see anything.
You just see the stupid...
The footsteps and the baby
no, the footsteps are great, but if you just see the dumb face changes, I hate that.
Oh, yeah, that's
because it's so cheap and easy.
Like about it, yeah.
And that was like the Spielberg ending, I guess. But it's a really great film because it's very personable. You just get two characters, and you kind of feel they're not the best actors, really, but you feel their pain.
It felt natural, yeah.
And it does feel very natural, So yeah, that's a good one.
That one for me, like you said earlier, where it's not necessarily terrifying, but it sticks with you. It just latches onto you like some leech, dude. It doesn't leave. Like, so when you're just by yourself in a room, you're like, okay, I have to go look at this corner.
Right.
Like, what the hell is that?
I remember when she gets dragged away, I'm like,
scary as hell, right? I wrapped myself up in a freaking taco in my blanket for like months after that, dude. I did not. I'm so scared.
Tacos, some chicken tacos, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I kind of blame that because that kind of started the whole pulling of the leg and dragging away.
Yeah, it did.
But still, it was cool because it was just a very low budget film. I think it originally played at Screamfest.
Was it Screamfest or was it Slam Dance? It was one of those two.
Well, I went to
both.
I think I went to Screamfest last year. And from what everyone was telling me, that it originated there and then it went to the other one. So I don't know. Politics. Who cares? It's out there. But yeah, even the second and third one I think are pretty great too.
Love that trilogy because the fourth one doesn't exist.
Or
the marked ones or the new one coming out. I'm sure.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, we'll get into that once we talk about our anticipated. Which should we do now? I like
the way you pronounce anticipated.
Anticipated. I'm throwing a little spin on it.
Southern podcast.
That was who was that right now?
That was Frank Underwood right there.
Oh, that was. Did you finish?
Yeah. The season?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Oh, let's talk about it.
You want to talk about House Cards?
No, just kidding.
Change the plans, guys.
Okay.
House Card show.
One more. Speaking of Kevin Spacey.
Okay. Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
My favorite director right now.
Oh,
David Fincher.
This is a horror.
Talking about Seven.
Okay.
Yeah,
it counts. It counts. It definitely counts. Yeah.
I mean, really, what is? I mean, maybe we'll have a show of just defining horror. What is? That's a freaking. Oh, that's a mind blowing. But yeah, Seven. It's just. I love Seven. It's incredible. It's talk about like capturing a serial killer like in its most fantastical way, but like still grounded in reality. I love the idea of a madman. Killing someone each day based on the 7 deadly sins. And each person you see dead, it's just very gruesome. It's brutal. And I don't really like gore film. Like, I don't like horror films that are gory.
Yeah.
Like, Eli Roth isn't really my cup of tea. But this one does it. It's just so... It's like grit at its finest. Because Fincher knows gritty. Like, and it's not gritty for the sole purpose of trying to be gritty. It's like, it's just freaking realistic. Real.
That's what would happen. Yeah.
And, that just... the twist ending to it, Kevin Spacey being John Doe. I love Detective. Frank Underwood, hey. But yeah, I mean, it's a great detective story. It's got a lot of horror, and it's like a psychological thriller, and that counts for horror counts as me. Yeah. So I don't know. That's what do you think? Do you think Seven's a horror film? Tweet at me.
Not initially, but now yeah. What do you guys think?
Not initially.
Shut up. Let's go.
Are we supposed to be on the same page or what?
I'm sorry. Go on.
Whatever. So yeah, that's just some of our favorite horror films. I mean, there's so many out there. We could have probably done a whole show, but I kind of want to talk about some horror films that are coming out this year. So let me pull it up. Distract them.
Okay, now guys, it's time for Cody's Corner of the show. We're going to go out and talk about...
You already have Upham's Corner.
I know, it's Cody's Corner now. It's my turn. We're going to talk about romantic comedies. We're going to talk about Hitch. We're going to talk about 50 First Dates. We're going to talk about Pretty
You're
Woman.
losing them. We had them for a while.
We loaded up the list already.
Okay. So,
okay, thank God.
So we're going to talk about some of the horror films that are coming out this year. Maybe pull up on your phone as I... so we can get some synopsises for those out there. I kind of... There's like some that are always floating out there. That are supposed to be released. Some movies don't have release dates just yet. But for the most part, these ones are selected for selected dates.
Let's get
some
into
we know,
it.
some we don't. Obviously, I think The Woman in Black already came out this year, right?
Oh, yeah, that piece of crap. The sequel.
Did you see that?
No,
I didn't see that.
I stayed far away.
Yeah. You saw The Lazarus Effect.
I did. Am I going to get into this right now?
If you want to. I mean, don't go full into detail, but
it's
just
not good, guys.
Look,
we were talking about before, we need to care about characters. There's maybe half a character in this movie that you probably care about.
Yeah.
None of them are really redeemable.
That's such a bummer. I love Mark Duplass.
I love the cast. I love almost everyone associated with this movie.
Like a Flatliners feel to it.
It just is. Nothing really happens until maybe 40 minutes into it, which is bad because it's an 80-minute movie. So there's nothing going on. It goes down that familiar like demon possession road. I know it's not
just all the cliches.
It seems like every horror movie the last like 5 years have been doing that, and it just.
Does she get naked?
She doesn't even. It's PG-13.
Oh, it's PG. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, Lazarus.
What about Mark Duplass? Does he get naked?
Oh, yes, he does.
Does he really?
Full frontal. No, I'm just kidding.
You
got so excited.
You had me sold.
Oh my god, you got so excited. But it's not great. I still respect the hell out of them. I respect the hell out of Blumhouse, one of my favorite production companies.
Yeah.
Not a good movie though. So
that's
my short opinion on Lazarus Effect.
All right. Well, coming out this month, there's actually two. One I'll mention briefly because it's like a Crackle premiere.
Oh no.
And that's Dead Rising Watchtower. Did you ever play the Dead Rising video game?
No, I never did, but I know what it is.
It's an incredible video game, and it's all about zombies, basically, but I just figured I mentioned it because it's like, there's very few horror films that are coming out this year, really. Yeah. And it looks so stupid. Okay. If you guys out there play Dead Rising, then maybe you guys have seen this trailer. It's called Dead Rising Watchtower. I don't know. Crackle's free, I think, like on the PlayStation Network or wherever you can download it. So maybe if you guys want to check that out, that's on the 27th. But my most anticipated horror film of the year, It Follows.
Yes, I want to see this.
I can't wait to see it. I've heard a lot of really great things. I know nothing really about it other than it has to do with like a virus and that you get when you have sex with somebody. And Malone was talking about it. She said it was pretty great. I heard a lot of great stuff from, what was it, Sundance?
Yeah, it came in Sundance.
So I'm pumped for this. Can't
wait for that.
I'm really excited about it. Unfriended. Comes out in April 17th. Look,
this one's interesting.
It is interesting because it's found. It's Skype footage.
Yeah, it's
Skype. We might be starting a new genre here.
We might just have to be like, it's not traditional filmmaking. That just might have to be our new.
Yeah,
film,
I mean, I like that it's experimental.
Yeah.
I like that it's from that kind of perspective. But the freaking trailers, man,
it for me, it's borderlining on it could be incredible.
Yeah.
It also could be incredibly stupid.
Yeah,
like, it's teetering that line, kind of like what the first Purge did. Unfortunately, it kind of went towards the latter.
A great concept, just not executed.
Yeah, this seems like it can do the same exact thing, so I'm kind of scared, but hopefully it turns out to be good.
Yeah, me too. Yes, yeah, really.
Yeah, whatever.
This one, you might have to look this one up for me because I wrote it down. Coming out on May 8th is Somnia.
Somnia.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like going through a list of stuff.
Yeah, it's got Kate Bosworth, Thomas Jane, who I love.
Yes, Thomas Jane, that's right.
Guy.
Give us a little synopsis.
Let's see, I'm going on the IMDb page. I never even heard it. Oh, from Mike Flanagan. Somnia is a haunting, emotionally absorbing supernatural thriller about an orphaned child whose dreams and nightmares manifest physically as he sleeps.
Okay, all right. So sounds like every other horror
film.
Sounds
like every freaking horror movie.
I mean, Thomas
There's a creepy
Jane.
kid, probably.
Who's the director again?
Director is Mike Flanagan.
That sounds familiar.
He's known for Oculus.
Oh, okay. Our friend of the show, Katie Sackhoff, was in that. That was pretty good.
I liked Oculus. It's a little underrated. I liked it a lot.
All right. So that could be something.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. Well, he's sleeping and then shit happens around him.
It's kind of it reminds me of Insidious.
Like a
which
reverse.
Is also one of my favorite.
Like a
horror
reverse
movies.
Nightmare on Elm Street, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Comes out May 8th, so they got
May 8th.
confidence in it.
Okay, cool. Coming out June 5th is Insidious Chapter 3.
Yes.
The trailers didn't sell me really.
Yeah.
I don't like how it's going back. Like especially the way the second one ended, because I actually really liked the second one.
I did too. It
the
was
first
a little bit
one
different, but I liked the way it wrapped things up.
But yeah, the way it wrapped up and how it tied into the first movie, I thought was incredible. I thought the first one has its ups and downs. I love
the first one. That's one of my favorite horror movies.
I really like the first half of the first movie, and then the second half, it kind of loses me with the whole Darth Maul guy. But even the second one, kind of elevated it in it, and it did something different. I mean, I thought Patrick Wilson was great.
Yeah.
But the way the second one ended made me think, oh, okay. I don't want to say it, but I felt like something was coming back. So I thought maybe they would continue the story, but I don't know.
This one's they're going back in time. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going back to maybe the one girl.
I have confidence in it because the guy who helped write the first two movies is coming to direct this one.
That's what's worrying me, though. I want a James Gunn to... Yeah, like, I hate when directors leave a third movie. I get that he's going off to do...
He's leaving it to basically his best friend. This is the guy who wrote Saw, too.
True, but has this guy directed yet?
I don't think he has,
I don't think so.
This might be his first
I dig most of his writing, because, I mean, I like most of James Wan's movies.
Yeah.
So...
I'll admit the best thing about James Wan is his, like, style, so it's probably not going to be there for this. I'm not sure.
Hopefully. Yeah. You never know. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
It didn't get me excited with the trailer, but... Excuse me, my throat is just dry.
It's all right, man.
Next up, July 24th, we got the Poltergeist remake. Yeah, I'm not too excited about this either. The trailer didn't sell me.
I like Sam Rockwell a lot. I do. I don't really know about this movie though. Like the trailers, it showed everything and a lot of jump scares. It seemed like, and I like the first Poltergeist. I do.
Yeah, I mean it's a classic.
It
goes down as a classic horror.
But why would you have to remake that? It's on the line. I know Exorcist is way better, but it's on the line of remaking The Exorcist, just as terms of like it's
Well, yeah, because it's like for me, Insidious almost felt like a Poltergeist remake because, Poltergeist is like a friendly horror film where there's some really crazy stuff in it for like because it's PG, right? For the time
is
it came,
really?
but
okay,
I think it is, but like the time that it came out. I mean,
gotcha.
Jaws was PG, so
Yeah,
it was the
was.
time. But still, it was almost like it was a friendly family horror film because it almost starts off as like awe-inspiring, and you're with this family. There's these weird things going on, and they're kind of like excited about it. They're like, "Holy shit! Like, look at these chairs. They're moving on their own."
Yeah.
And then it just turns into like a cluster of like scary shit going on. So I just. Remakes, recalibrations, rebootalizations, decriminalizations. I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Sick of remakes, but you know what? They're gonna happen.
Hey, look, I'm hoping it's good. That's all
I am too.
Good.
If Sam Rockwell's picking it, I mean, he chooses some pretty good stuff besides Charlie's Angels. But that was earlier in his career.
Charlie's Angels.
Yeah,
I forgot about
he was
that.
dancing to that one song.
Sam. Okay, whatever. What's next? Sam. Why?
And then August 21st, Sinister 2.
Okay, why is this being
I don't know.
I
thought the first one was pretty good.
I like the first Sinister, but really
Scott Derrickson, I thought it was great.
I really don't think you need a sequel to this. I really don't.
I mean, the first one was good, but it kind of loses you at the end.
Yeah.
It just I did not like that ending.
I like the twist for the most part, like whatever happens, but the very ending really angry when it just gets like,
it's like literally the last shot.
Hey,
like,
guys!
If you guys are Slipknot fans, literally the creature looks like the guitar one of the guitar players Mick from Slipknot.
Oh,
so
God. Before I forget,
if you haven't left us already and you like Slipknot, then there you go.
You're back. We got your back.
This one I'm so excited for. On September 11th, is M. Night Shyamalan, The Visit.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm
hoping for the guy. I'm just like he's the underdog at this point. I'm hoping he makes a good movie.
Well, what I'm really excited about is that he's going back to his roots. Like he's going back to very small horror. It's like about a brother and sister go to their grandparents' house and some crazy shit happens.
I haven't heard too much about it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen anything on it. There really hasn't been any releases on it. Just the fact that it was like very secretive. Like I don't think a lot of people know about this movie. Yeah. So The Visit, I'm excited. Even though it is M. Night Shyamalan, I think this
if this turns out to suck, are you just done? Are you like, okay, I'm done. I'm not watching a single movie from this guy.
I think because
it's hard. So good.
Sixth Sense and Signs. Signs is a film that creeps me out to this day. Like Signs a lot. Just the music alone creeps me out. But I will always give that guy a chance. I think. I can't believe I just said that. Okay.
It's okay.
October 2nd, Victor Frankenstein. I think this is with Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe and James McAvoy.
James McAvoy, okay.
Radcliffe is playing Igor, and McAvoy's playing... I hate when
they put in Igor.
Really?
Did you ever read the original Frankenstein?
I didn't.
Igor's not in it.
Really?
I don't think he is. I haven't read it in a while. But it's my favorite... I could be fucking wrong. But it's my favorite book of all time.
Okay.
And so, but Daniel Radcliffe, do you know who's directing this?
Directing it is Paul...
Verhoeven. You would excite me.
Paul Mick something. Hold on, let me look this up. But it's written by Max Landis, who did Chronicle.
Okay, all right.
And he's got a couple movies coming out.
Oh, that's
this
right.
year.
I remember we talked about this before.
Yeah, and I've actually read the script for this.
I
have sources. I got some. I read the script and
so you ruined the movie.
I did, but it's really good. It's like reading a book beforehand for me. Whatever.
Okay.
But it's really good. From what if they capture the tone of the script, I really like it.
Don't say Paul W.S. Anderson.
It's not. It's Paul McGuigan, who I believe. I think he's responsible for like Sherlock and all that. Let me check to make sure I am looking up his IMDb right this second.
McAvoy I like and Radcliffe I like too. I like the idea. Was McAvoy playing Frankenstein?
McAvoy's playing. Yeah, he's playing Frankenstein.
He's playing the monster. Anybody, or just a big dude?
The monster. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's any casting for it yet.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Right. He's in the script though. Paul McGuigan, whatever. He's directed a few episodes of Sherlock.
Oh, the BBC series.
The BBC series.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, that's a different story.
Which is good because it's like that kind of tone.
Okay.
He also did a crap movie called Push with Chris Evans.
Chris Evans?
And Dakota Fanning, right? Oh,
I never saw
We're going to
it.
forget that one ever happened.
Yeah.
But I like this. I like the potential for this movie.
All right.
I really think he'd be good.
Cool. Trucking along in October. October is actually kind of stacked, which I'm like finally happy because like in the past few years
there hasn't. Yeah.
Nothing in October. Mm-hmm. It's all everyone wants to release horror films in summer. Yeah. But this one I'm not actually too excited about, but I'm gonna see it because it's Guillermo, and that's Crimson Peak on the 16th.
Yeah.
The trailers still haven't sold me yet.
It hasn't.
But yeah, that dude brings such imagination to his world.
It's different than every other horror movie coming out now, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a gothic horror. You almost never see those anymore.
No.
So
I'm not too keen on gothic. Really. Okay. It's actually except for the first Woman in Black, I actually kind of dug that one. I thought it was kind of creepy.
Ever seen The Haunting? The first one, not the remake with Owen Wilson and all that.
Okay.
Forget that one.
When the chick gets hit with the strings in the eye and freaking Owen Wilson gets his head torn off by a statue lion.
Yep, I forgot about the statue lion.
So the original's
Haunting. Pretty good.
Okay,
yeah,
all right. Okay, the black and white one.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
all right, cool.
What's next?
On that same day, I'm really excited about the Goosebumps.
I forgot that was happening.
Yeah, Jack Black is playing R.L. Stein. And it's like his stories are coming to life, and I think he's with like the kids as they're telling them or something like that. I think that could be so much fun.
Okay, yeah.
And I love Jack Black.
Goosebumps as a kid. I did.
Yeah,
but
I never read the books. Did you read the books?
Oh yeah,
you did.
I read a bunch of the Goosebumps.
I only read like
Say Cheese and Die. If you guys know that reference, you're cool with me. Give me a high five through the internet.
I know that one.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, okay.
If you read Say Cheese and Die again, you get 2 high fives from me.
Oh, okay. All right.
Both my favorites.
Cody likes cheese.
I like cheese.
I was more of a scary stories in the dark kind of guy.
Oh, okay, I got
those ones are.
What was that Nickelodeon show? Are You
Afraid of the Dark?
Remember that?
Yeah, that was great. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Goosebumps. October 23rd. This is my favorite title of all these. God. Paranormal Activity: The Ghost Dimension. How stupid of a title is that?
Remember how I was praising the first Paranormal Activity?
Yeah.
How the mighty have fallen, man.
Yeah,
this is
it's fun. Look, the first 3 are great in my eyes.
I love the first 3.
I think even the third one could possibly be even the best one.
Yeah, as far as just a movie.
Fourth one is just straight boring.
Yeah,
nothing scared me in that movie.
Ugh.
And the marked one isn't good either. There's actually one legitimate freaky part that freaks me out, like when they're in the church, they're doing the seance thing, whatever.
Yeah,
There's like a thing in the background, like shit in the background scares the shit out of me all the time.
Yeah.
So we all know that. And then also, and mind you, some of these could change around these dates.
This movie's supposed to come out for like 3 years now. Yeah. It's not happening, so who knows if it's gonna happen.
So on November 13th, I have Rings, which is supposed to be like the Rings sequel, remake, prequel thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'm not a huge. Everyone thinks
of The Ring?
I like it, but it's not scary to me.
I love the first Ring.
I remember when it first came out, that was like all the rave, like that and The Grudge. Those movies never scared me.
I was watching it with some friends in my living room, and as soon as the phone scene happened, I shit you not, my phone rang.
See, I can. Okay.
You know the phone scene, the freaking 7 days thing.
Oh, well, you survived. So
I survived, obviously. I survived at least 7
days. I will
days.
say, though, it's creepy. See the faces when they're all contorted and they're all murky and dark.
Yeah, that was probably the creepiest part for me when I was watching it growing up, but yeah.
Okay.
So Rings, really, that's happening.
Rings, okay. And then finally on December 5th is Krampus.
Krampus. What's Krampus? Let's look this up here.
It sounds like a Christmas horror film, maybe.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of good prep on my part. I just typed in the names and I didn't put any synopsis right next to it.
It's all right.
But I mean, interesting to see a horror film in December.
It's
a Christmas horror film.
A demon seeks out naughty people to punish them at Christmas time.
Yes, there's gonna be a lot of boobs and it's
gonna be like Adam Scott and Toni Collette.
Huh?
Wow. Okay, it's actually got a
Adam
decent
Scott.
cast.
Okay, who's directing that?
Michael Dougherty, whatever.
What did he do?
As a director, he did
Adam Scott. That's interesting.
Trick or Treat 2.
I know a lot of people like Trick or Treat.
Oh yeah, he was a contributor to Trick or Treat.
Okay.
Could
be something.
That's all of his horror stuff.
Krampus.
Yeah, Krampus. Who knows? Could be okay.
Cool. So those are pretty much all the movies that are coming out in 2015 as far as horror films go.
Boobies. I'm sorry.
What?
I thought you said boobies instead of movies. I was like,
well, there's a lot more boobies coming out than the ones that I listed. So there's a lot of babies born every single day, Cody.
I'm sorry. Go on.
Jesus, man.
Go on. It's getting late.
Of all those, It Follows. I'm most excited for Crimson Peak.
For me, Victor Frankenstein, I'm really looking forward to that.
Victor Frankenstein, that could be interesting. I always like seeing different tellings of Frankenstein. So, I would say that pretty much wraps it up. We'll do this last little segment. We're gonna have fun segments for each show at the very end, and this one I thought it would be cool because this show is called HorrorFlix, and it's based off of Netflix because there's a lot of really great, underrated, and unappreciated horror films on Netflix. So we're gonna kind of have Netflix recommendation. I know Stacey Howard, schmozno.com, one of our writers. She does HorrorFlix, or no, she doesn't do HorrorFlix, but she does Netflix recommendations. She throws in horror films. She's a big horror fan, so we'll throw in a horror film that we think is really interesting. You guys go and check out. So what do you got?
What do I got?
Yeah, you'll do this week. I'll do next.
Okay, I'll do this week. It's one that we actually discussed this. It's technically not really a horror movie until like the ending, maybe the last 30 minutes of it. But I thought it was insanely creepy. It's a found footage movie called The Conspiracy.
Oh yeah. You told I watched this one.
Yeah, I thought you watched this the other day.
Yes, I did. It's more of a mockumentary found footage, but it has the found footage.
I'm just saying that documentary style. I just call it found footage out of default.
But it's actually literally like a documentary the whole time through.
Yeah, the way it's done.
And then the last 20 minutes is just straight up found footage. But it's pretty creepy.
It's creepy as hell.
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily call it a horror film, but psychological thriller, suspense thriller.
I was scared shitless during the ending, dude.
Yeah, it is very creepy. It's pretty good.
If you've seen it, you know what sequence I'm talking about.
Yeah,
if you haven't, give it a shot. It's pretty good.
Well, yeah, cults scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like the ending of Paranormal Activity 3, that gets me every time.
Like, when you they're all walking across the windows.
Yeah.
And it's like, ah!
Well, have you seen the Bohemian Grove video?
No.
Oh, dude.
Bohemian Grove. What is this?
It's conspiracy shit. Cults. I don't want to talk about it because they're watching us right now.
Okay.
But so go ahead, check that movie out. Check out The Conspiracy on Netflix. It's pretty damn good.
It's good. I like it.
And then after you watch it, tweet at me and Cody.
If it sucked, let me know. I'm an idiot.
Regardless of how you felt about it, tweet at us and make sure you hashtag it HorrorFlix. Let us know. Tell us some of your favorite horror films. What movies you guys are looking forward to in 2015. Be
sure to rate and subscribe on iTunes. The feed will be up there. If you're watching it on YouTube, be sure to like and comment and help us out.
Yes.
Anything else?
Follow us on Twitter. I'm at Cobbster15. Where are you at?
I am at The Real Cody Hall.
Cool, because you're the only one.
I'm the absolute only one. Only one.
And like our Facebook page. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a Facebook page.
It should be up by this point.
Yeah. And do all that stuff, and we'll see you guys next week. I don't know if these are gonna be on like Wednesdays or Fridays, so whatever day this comes on, that's pretty much every single week it's gonna be on. So, thank you guys for watching. Check out some good horror films. There's some good ones out there, and we'll see you guys next week.
Later.